Good morning, guys. Lady Liberty Stacker. It is Thursday, July 18th, 2019, and what you're looking at are the three recent cast iron pickups that I made. These are the skillets stripped down to their gunmetal gray, or so to speak, before I season them. And I have a few things I want to share with you on the recent one that I picked up. If you watch my previous videos, this one has a crack. This is a Birmingham Stove and Range BS&R. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. And you may see still some stubborn carbonized seasoning on there. I probably could have gotten it off if I soaked it longer in vinegar. But once I discovered the crack, I thought, I'm not going to put any more time into it. So I still don't know what I'm going to do with this. I may just leave it for the scrappers and they can come get it. It is nice. I don't know if I can recoup my fees on eBay to sell it, so it's probably not going to go there. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with that. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a round of seasoning anyway. As per the cast iron collector, if you season a few times, you can seal the crack. And based on where the crack is, you can cook with this. I don't really need a 7, and I don't certainly want one with a heat ring like this. Well, you could have it. You just have to be extra careful that you're not going to scratch the glass stovetop with the heat ring. That's the only thing. And it is bigger, and it's harder for me to handle. Sometimes I have my arthritis kick up in my right hand, but that's here nor there. This one is a old, and I wouldn't call it a marked. There is an L there. It's a 3-notch Lodge. And this is probably from the 40s or the 50s. And it's in very good condition. A little bit of pitting here, which is very common in these skillets. It has good bones. It sits flat. It doesn't spin much. And I may keep this. It's always nice to have a few of these in your collection, because if you want to make it like a dessert or something. I have 3 right now. This would be my 4th, and I may even pick up another one if I find one, because if I make a dessert, it's going to be for 5 or 6. Individualizing the skillets like that, and you need obviously need multiples of the number 3. But that's a Lodge. I may sell it if the comps are good. If not, I'm keeping it. And then this is the most interesting one. This is the one I just got. This is an Unmarked Wagner. And you can pretty much tell. I'm going to go ahead and give you a close-up here. I'm using my GoPro, so I can't control the camera as much as I'd like. But this is a Wagner. You can see from the sidewalls, it's got the trim around the edges, and it's got the font, which is, I think it's probably a 1/3 of an inch. I can't remember. It says 10.5-inch skillet, which is common. And then here, that must be a maker's mark, because there's an R there, and there's also an R on the handle. And inside the skillet, and this is just a fantastic skillet. It has a little bit of spin, but it's not that bad, and it will be a good cooker. So I'll probably end up keeping this and selling one of the other 8s I have in my collection. But you can see the milling marks around this. I don't know if you can see it really well in the video, but the milling marks on this are just fantastic. It's super smooth. I didn't have to sand it at all. I just cleaned it with a Brillo pad after I soaked it in vinegar, and just rinsed it off really, really well. And the vinegar bath does neutralize any of the lye. So this was soaked in a lye bath for about a half a day to a day, and then in vinegar for 2 days. And it doesn't take away any of the metal. I mean, if you leave it in vinegar forever, yeah, it's obviously going to start at eating at the metal. But it removed most of the carbon, if not all of it, on the back. And the most interesting thing about this skillet, well, first of all, that is an Unmarked Wagner. And you can also see from the pour spouts are well defined. I have a marked Wagner. This is a number 5. You can see, get into the light here, Wagner Ware Sydney O, and you can see the trim on the sidewall. You can see the handle. It doesn't quite go to the sidewall, and there's like a little ledge there, a little triangular ledge. And then it flattens out here. And then on the other side, it has like a little teardrop, a little bit more defined. But you can also see the mill marks. See that? The mill marks in the skillet. I don't see that so much with Griswold. So But this is a nice number 5. It also spins a little bit. I got this at an antique shop before I really knew to test for that, but it cooks great, and it's been a keeper in my collection. And this one, the other thing is you look at the handle, and it's also got the similar qualities. It doesn't quite go to the sidewall, and there's a shadow there, but you can see the little triangle there next to the sidewall, and there it is there in the back. And then on the top, it's a little less defined on the skillet. But what's most interesting on this, there is a faint marking here. I'm trying to get it in so you can see it. You can see there's a bit of a W. It's right there. That's Wagner. And then there's an A right there, and it goes all the way across. That is what they call a ghost mark. And that's when they fill in the mold. You can see faint W. And I'm going to hold it up, and you can see a little bit of the A and a little bit of the other letters across, but they were able to fill in this part. So that's definitely a Wagner for sure. And they call it a ghost mark. And why they would do that is they would fill in the mold, that particular mold, if they were going to make, if either they were going to change their logo, or they were going to make a bunch of skillets for maybe a dime store like Montgomery Ward, Woolworths, Sears, whatever. And they wouldn't sell it for they could sell them for a cheaper price to the discount stores, and the discount stores could sell them cheaper, but it's the same skillet. Same skillet, but what happens is, and again, you can see that W, they were not successful at completely filling in the mold. Molds, or the logo, the incised logo on these skillets would never fade away from use. If they're there, they're there. You can see it right here with 10.5-inch skillet. But they just weren't able successfully to fill everything in, and a little bit of the Wagner at the top was remaining, so it's called a ghost mark. Don't know if it makes it any more valuable, but it almost certainly is proof that it is a Wagner. It's basically the same skillet, so who knows. But this one's probably going to stay in my collection. I wanted to share that with you and to show you one, a technically unmarked one next to a marked one. And here it is. If you guys have any questions, please leave them below. Give me a thumb up if you like this video. Thanks for watching. And just want to, before I sign off, I'm going to go ahead and make a video of seasoning these 3 skillets from start to finish. I've kind of modified my technique a little bit. You sometimes can get a little bit of pooling even if you wipe the excess off at the stages in the seasoning process. And you can even do that at the end. So I'm going to be making another video on seasoning these guys, 2019 style. And it just, and then when you first test them, there's a lot less black stuff that comes off, on your towel when you wipe it off. So anyways, that's it for now. Any questions or comments, leave below. Thumb up. Thanks for watching, and go make it a great day.